What's up, design family, and welcome back to another episode of Fittdesign TV. So glad to have you back on the channel. On today's episode, we'll be looking at another commonly misunderstood fiber, microfiber. In this quick episode, we'll evaluate what microfiber actually is, take a brief look at its history, look at the different types of microfiber that we typically see on the common market, and ultimately evaluate its key characteristics. By the end of this episode, you should be able to walk away with a much better understanding of what microfiber actually is. That way you can evaluate whether it's the right choice for you, whether you want to have it in your wardrobe or as part of an upcoming fashion collection. What's up, design family, and welcome to Fittdesign TV. So glad to have you here. On this channel, we discuss all things sports fashion, graphic design, manufacturing, and technology. We'll discuss key topics, answer pressing questions, and provide actionable steps on starting your own product line. If you're interested in any of the above topics, stick around. You're in for a good one. Moving right into it, microfiber in short is an ultra-thin synthetic fiber that typically we see as being less than 1 denier, where in this case, a denier is a unit of measurement that we use to depict the thickness of a thread. We commonly see microfiber as made with different synthetic fibers, usually either nylon, acrylic, polyester, and we can pretty much see a blend of a single fiber or a blend of different compositions. So you can get a lot of varieties when it comes to microfiber. Although they actually have a lot of uses, you can do a ton with microfiber. It is somewhat of a controversial topic, specifically because of its lack of biodegradability. It also wreaks a lot of havoc, especially when it comes to the oceanic food chain. Simply because of this lack of biodegradability, we can't get rid of microfiber, and it ends up polluting our oceans and causing a lot of damage to the ecosystems that exist in these oceans. Let's take a brief look at the history of microfiber. Microfiber was first invented in Japan in the 1970s. It was a way to create lightweight and flattering swimwear for women. However, this ultimately failed because the microfiber fabrics really did a poor job at losing water. They retained a lot of the water, which made the garments extremely heavy and uncomfortable, which again, this was not the primary purpose of a fabric like this. So later on, the Europeans, with the help of DuPont, actually redeveloped microfiber into what we know and love today. And in 1989, they actually introduced the first microfiber that we're familiar with today that was made out of polyester. Now, we mentioned that there are different types of microfibers that we typically see on the market. These have a lot to do with the manufacturing methods used to create these microfibers. The first type of microfiber that we commonly see on the market is what is known as the split weave or the looped weave. This is an extremely water absorbent microfiber, and we did mention this briefly when we talked about the history segment of the video. Split weave microfibers are made by having thousands of fibers that are being split in production. These thousands of fibers create tiny loops, which when split increase the surface area of the fabric tremendously. This helps to trap dirt, but at the same time, it ultimately helps to also trap and absorb moisture. On the other hand, we have what is known as the flat weave, or in this case, typically the water repellent type of microfiber. Here, this type of microfiber works to actually half the moisture absorbing capabilities of the split weave or looped weave types of microfiber. This helps them to repel water accordingly and makes them a much more viable option, especially for use in sportswear and activewear. And lastly, let's look at the key characteristics of microfibers. These are going to be the things that make them viable or not viable depending on the specific purposes that you're looking for. So number one, they are extremely lightweight, soft, and drape quite easily. Also, they're ultra fine. They are finer and actually even more delicate than silk. They provide great insulation. They provide insulation against wind, rain, and ultimately cold weather. So this makes them a great option for outerwear. Also, they absorb moisture quickly, especially when being used in a split weave. And lastly, they are quite shrink and stretch resistant. So if those are certain characteristics that you're looking for, microfiber might actually produce a great option for you. Well, that is a wrap on this episode, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it and learned a thing or two about microfiber. If you guys enjoyed this episode and want to see us do more episodes where we profile specific types of textiles, specific types of fibers, let us know in the comments below. Also, check out our channel. We've done a ton of these episodes in the past. We've covered acrylic, viscose, nylon, polyester, so definitely do take the time to check them out if you haven't done so already. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Fittdesign TV. Until next episode, stay awesome.